Yeah.
He's just sold it. The canteen is ready. We have to look at it. Where did you come
I tend to go on that side because you've checked it.
Are you dealing with that woman? Because you're so kind. We've actually got a camera from my father. My father. This is a best man.
Oh, I see. Pleased to meet you. Yes, I've got a good shot here.
Well, you still are the best man.
Garçon d'honneur.
Garçon d'honneur. Every time they come. So I was
No, I've been talking to something my brother.
I don't think that's really quite
It's a good shot, that.
Was it?
Yes, with the sun behind you.
Yeah. Oh dear. Oh my word.
Smile. Thank you.
Relax, no, I'm not. Yes, because when I look at the you know, when they're little and sweet. No. I'm sure when they're adults it's lovely as well, but it's the middle stage. Yes, yes, yes.
Tiny little. I was only 3.5.
Yeah, so you probably just
tiny little bits.
To explain a little something. Unusual circumstances demand unusual proceedings. So the 50-year-old bride today will speak first. To quote the words of God, we have been brought to this wedding anniversary through sickness and health, and been granted a long and happy life together. So we celebrate, in spite of the unfortunate circumstances which pinned John down to his hospital bed today. We are thankful for the presence of family and special friends. I thank my children Stephen and Anne, Fiona and Michael, for their strong support during the past and coming days. They have proved to be an incredible tower of strength. This is a wedding anniversary with a difference, since the bridegroom is unable to attend, in spite of hope, until the 11th hour. In spite of it all, John and I want you to have a happy day on our behalf. Life goes on and hope remains. It will be the best way to snub adversity and to celebrate. You will perhaps have already admired the beautiful place name cards. They were designed and given by our dear friend Gloria Wilson on my right. Please take them away with you en souvenir. Also, on the photo table is a little black book of love. Could you possibly sign it, taking a page per person or couple, so that John receives it in memory? And let us rejoice and pray for John, who is in much better hands where he is for the time being. John's brother will now say graces.
I'm sorry that I don't know English grace, so those of you who understand Latin may follow this. Oculi omnium in te Deo spectant, tudos elis escam in tempore opportuno, apris manum tuum et in ples omni animao benedictione, per Jesum Christum Dominum nostrum. Amen.
That's good, yeah. Cheers, cheers.
could pour you some red wine.
Yes, you're on.
Is it still or...
No, it's camcorder. No, it's moving. Yeah, you're moving.
Right, we can talk to you.
Good. Oh, excellent.
Thank you, John.
De rien.
Oh, I'm totally
Really, really?
really, because we do teachers change so much over the last, I don't know, 10 years.
No, we found this last night where we were. The service was excellent because the point was that we'd been told that
But my mother found a poem that she asked me to read, and I think it's a very, very appropriate poem which explains why they've been managing to put up with each other for 50 years. Because if I had to live with either of them, I wouldn't survive. But I don't think Stephen and I could ask for better parents, and I think both of us are very, very thankful, and they're just a wonderful example to us both. So all I'm going to do is read this poem and then be quiet. It's from The Prophet by Kelly Gibran on marriage. Then Almitra spoke again and said, "And what of marriage, Master?" And he answered, saying, "You were born together, and together you shall be forevermore. You shall be together when the white wings of death scatter your days. Aye, you shall be together even in the silent memory of God. But let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Give one another of your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together and be joyous, but let each one of you be alone. Even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping, for only the hand of life can contain your hearts. And stand together, yet not too near together, for the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow." And I think the best man who's still here would just like to make a toast for my parents.
Thank you, Anne. Well, just in case you're wondering why I have this privilege, it is, I think, probably because Jean and I have known Annick and John probably longer than almost anyone here. I don't know whether anyone can contradict that, but apart from Peter, of course. And our memories go back to, well, the dark days of the war and before. Peter has reminded me this morning how one dark night in 1940, he lay in bed, same bed as John, same bedroom, and the chimney stack was ripped off, crashed to the ceiling, and some unfortunate Germans who were trying to crash land on our school playing field hit the house and blew up. That was a memory that sticks with us because it also triggered off the evacuation. That doesn't mean much perhaps to many people here, but Jean and I, with John, we didn't know any then, we went off to the Midlands and well, I've been asked to say a few words. You can't give a history of the Smiths John, Annick saga in a few words. But from there, anyway, Jean went into the army, and John went eventually to Oxford. Cambridge, sorry.
Oh, shot hard.
Terrible mistakes you can make when you have. He went to Cambridge, and there he went into the intelligence service, and that will be a saga in itself. I know among his many activities there, he was shadowing King Farouk, who was had a great interest for the British government at that time. And it was John who informed them. And, well, there are many things I can tell you about that. Perhaps one poignant story, one with a moral, I think. About 10 or 15 years ago, was it? John visited Jean and I. He said, I've been turning out some of my old suits from my days in North Africa when I was in the intelligence. He said, I found in the pocket this little photograph, this little square passport photograph. He said, I was told if I saw that man to shoot him on sight. He said, I never did. He's now President Beguine. It's the way history works, isn't it? Anyway, John then went into the colonial service, and he went to North Africa, West Africa, sorry, Nigeria, and he used to come to visit Jean and I. Sorry, Jean and me. I used to teach grammar. He used to come to visit us when we lived in Wheeling, not far away, and we were married, he was single. We thought this wasn't quite right, and we were constantly sort of pressing him, you know, when are you going to get married and so on. He said, when I find the ideal one. And all right, well, he had to wait. In due course, we heard from Ireland. He found her. But she wasn't Irish, she was... I was going to say she was French, I was supposed to say Breton. Anyway, it wasn't long after that we met Annick, and I was asked to go to their wedding in Paris, and given the magnificent title of Garçon d'honneur. I've not forgotten that. It means best man, but and that was an experience that I not only thoroughly enjoyed, but also never forget. I gather there's some photographs somewhere.
The photographs are there, yes.
I might look a little younger, actually, in the photo. And I remember what an experience it was. I'd never been to a French wedding before, of course. And
without French. Without French, especially.
But I remember how it was quite different